Good afternoon, good evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Sam, always Coca-Cola, and welcome to the HoodAdj Chronicles. When I tell you that today has been quite an adventure as it pertains to technology with me and always. So for those of you that are watching, thank you so much for watching. And for those of you that haven't been watching, welcome to the show. As I've said before, I started Always Coca-Cola as a way to connect with my audience and to share the fact that I purchased a home in an area going through revitalization. So some of the things that I'm experiencing are some experiences that I haven't been around in a while. So I just want to have a way to kind of quantize those experiences and share them with the people I love. Also, this is an opportunity for me to give back to my university, Savannah State University. So if you are interested in donating to Savannah State University, then please feel free to text SSU NAA 13035 to 71777. Again, that's SSU NAA 13035 to 71777. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for joining. And always for all the freshmen that have just started at Savannah State. I'm sure by now you've probably had that walk of shame. What's that walk of shame, you ask? Well, you know, when you went to that upperclassman dorm on the other side of campus, and now you got to do your walk back to the freshman dorm in your heels from last night. You know, right? I know. I've been there too, girl. I had those days. Just be sure to pack your whole bag next time. Do you know what a whole bag is? Your whole bag is your toothbrush, change your panties, and make it real cute so it can still fit in your purse, but know what you're gonna do later. Have some little flip flops, girl. It'll be okay. Make sure you tell your friends where you're going though, because that's something you gotta do. Keep up with each other, right? So by now, I'm also sure that you've had a chance to meet some of the fraternity and sorority girls and guys on campus. And so by now, I'm sure you've kind of came to an understanding of maybe what fraternity and sorority you want to pledge. If not, I'm sure I'll give you a couple of great ideas. And also, if you are interested in learning more about the Divine Nine as well as Greek organizations across the nation, which are the historically black Divine Nine fraternities and sororities, then you can feel free to read Divine Nine by Lawrence Ross or In Search of Sisterhood. Again, just so you know, nothing that I will ever say will be anything that's revealing the secrets of Delta Sigma Theta. Because real women choose Delta, but Delta does not choose real women. So we're not out here hunting for y'all. So make sure you're doing your research if you're going to actually join a sorority. Don't think it's going to be handed to you. Okay, great. So just a couple of wonderful people that graduated from Savannah State that are members of Divine Nine happen to be Tone Bell, who's a very prominent actor, James Anthony, who's a very prominent photographer, and Cuzzy, who is also on Project Runway and is a very phenomenal designer. So if you haven't heard of these people, please feel free to check them out. And again, always, Shannon Sharp is a very well-known alumni of Savannah State. So to all the people that continue to spread the word about historically Black colleges and to educate us, continue to just be that light that's shining to bring someone else back home. So my first guest is somebody that I've known from high school to college. We didn't have the same taste in sororities, but apparently she went on to become a very great author, and her book is now published and available at Target. So for my first guest, who has been very patient with me while I've been trying to get all of this technology figured out, is Cherish. Cherish, who is the author of Wolves and Skirts. Perfect. Thank you. Hey, I think you're still muted. Hold on one second. I think you're muted. Let me unmute you.
What about that?
Oh, it's actually connecting to audio.
Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes, I hear you. I see you. Things are finally working out right.
Yay, I'm so happy.
Thank you for being patient with me, though, because I
You,
know that today's been long for you as well.
girl, you
So,
welcome.
girl, when I tell you, I was just sharing with the fact that I started this channel as a way to first raise money for our beloved HBCU Savannah State, but also as a way for me to just document my adventures with being in a neighborhood that's going through revitalization.
Yeah.
But yes, I know you share with me that you're currently working for the census, so I'm sure with some of that you've had some pretty hood adjacent experiences yourself.
Girl, I mean, you want me to give you one? Girl, so sometimes I knock on the doors and people talk to me through the door. Like their door is closed and they're talking to me. So one lady, I was like, hey, my name is Darish. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the Census Bureau. And she was like, I don't want nothing you selling. I was like, I'm not selling anything, ma'am. I'm with the Census Bureau. She was like, cinnamon, cinnabon. I don't care what you selling. Go away. But the crazy thing is that was in Southland. Like you from the east side, so you know Southland, you know, like one of the top neighborhoods, you know what I mean? Like in the Stone Mountain.
Exactly.
Girl, I was like, I mean, all I could do was laugh, you know what I mean, and keep it moving. But the other
Exactly.
that are not as prominent, to be honest, they may
Yes.
not know what the census is, but they're willing to talk to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Goodness. So with that, it made me think about how with growing up, especially in high school and in college, one of the things that we did was we had a book club. And
Yes.
so growing up, one of my favorite books was The Coldest Winter Ever by
Yeah.
Sister Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites was Fly Girl by Omar Tyree. And so it's like growing up reading those books, I knew forever that reading was something that. So what were some of your favorite groups? Like, well, of course, it was something I do, but it was just something that I fell in love with. So, what are some of your favorite authors?
I love, this is gonna sound so elementary, but I loved Goosebumps. Girl, when I tell you I
Oh,
love,
yeah. I was just talking to my best friend about Goosebumps yesterday.
girl, R.L. Stein, and now to be honest, in my mind, I feel like I'm gonna go purchase them on like eBay and stuff like that. So when I have kids, they can, you know, I don't even know if they'll want to read it, but it'll just make me feel good to have it. You know, that the Bernstein Bears, girl. Those books had so many lessons in them. You know what I mean? Like at the end, you always have a moral to the story. So those were some of my favorite. Like I would read it over and over again.
Absolutely. Me too. Me too. So, with that being said, what made you get into wanting to be a writer?
To be honest, I never really thought of it. Like it wasn't something I sat around and thought of, you know, wanting to do. But with my first book, Wolves and Suits, it really was it was my diary of the bad dates that I was going on. I was like, you're not gonna, I mean, I was just kind of jotting it down in my journal. Then I was like, I should write a book on this because these dudes are crazy. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it started. And then I didn't have enough stories for the whole book. So then I asked a couple of friends who I knew personally had told me some crazy stories. And I was like, you know, it's gonna be anonymous. No one's gonna know that it's you. You might know it's you, but nobody else gonna know it's you. So from then I wrote my first book and it was so easy. Like it was one of the easiest things you could ever do.
So, seeing that you said it was easy, like, what are your thoughts as it pertains to publishing? Like, did you self-publish?
I did self-publish. I thought about traditionally publishing. I was at where was I at? Some type of book like fair in, I don't remember what part of Florida. But and I just went before I was an author, just like you. I like to read books, and I think I just was happened to be in Florida. But anyway, I met some of the publishing people, and what I didn't like was that they made, not to say they will, because some people some people traditionally publish and it goes well for them, but sometimes the publishing companies change up your words. You know what I mean? Like I remember when I first finished Wolves and Suits,
Yeah.
I had an editor and he was from England or something like that. And I had the word situationship in there. And he was like, I don't know what this is. And he changed it to relationship. He changed all my, and just the way that I speak that could relate to a reader, he changed all of it. And at that moment, I was like, you know what? The only way I'm gonna have complete control over my product is if I self-publish. So I self-published and I haven't lost any sleep over it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so what are your thoughts about like audiobooks for people that maybe don't like to actually, read the pages and smell a book?
Yeah.
That's me when I first get a book. I like to smell it and just see
Yeah,
the
me
crisp
too.
pages. But what are your thoughts as it pertains to audiobooks?
So I really love audiobooks. But I'm a touch, you know what I'm saying, person too. And I really couldn't get with them because I love to just, touch the book, read it, close it. I don't know. It's just maybe that's because that's how I started reading, when we were younger. But audiobooks are the mood though, like especially when people, now that they're at home, it's still the move. When we had to commute to work, it was still the move. So I actually did record Wolves and recorded it for audiobook. So I just need to go through that process of uploading. It's not a difficult process, but from what I can read, I want a lawyer to kind of sit with me and look over it because with audibles, I feel like the verbiage from my understanding was saying that they have so much control over it. So I just want to kind of one more time, but I did record it. I mean, I have it recorded. I have it set up to go out. But once I read that fine print, I was like, wait a minute, what are you really trying to say? So I need a lawyer to kind of look over me, but the audiobooks are good. The audiobooks are good.
Okay, well, I might have a resource for you that attorney. I have
Okay.
a cousin that's an attorney that deals with those, so I might have a resource for you that.
Yes, thank you. Because I mean, I feel
I'll
like
give you your information.
but then I don't want to get caught up and then it's like Audibles owns my entire product and they can do what they want to do with it. And I don't want that, if that means that, because I was even thinking about Spotify, little stuff like that. So yeah, we'll link up about that resource for sure.
Of course. And lastly, what advice would you give to somebody else that wanted to get into writing?
Definitely don't think that you have to be some English teacher, to write your book. Like that stops so many people. They're like, well, I'm not a good writer. I don't know how to make anything good. If you're a decent writer, just open up your Word document and go to work. You know what I mean? And you can make it sound pretty later. You can organize it later. If you aren't even good with words on writing, record yourself. Just record yourself. Get a tape recorder and just record your stories. You can always pay somebody, to write your story too. So that's what I would give. And people I have a couple friends, when I tell you they're like actively writing a book, but they get distracted, you know what I mean? So they one of my friends, she was like, she's never in a mood to write, so what you have to do is you have to create your mood. I mean, you create your mood for everything else, you know what I'm saying? So so you just create your mood, like have a playlist that once you hear that playlist, it's like it's time to wind down, it's time to put your thoughts on paper. So that's advice I would give. I mean, if I could do it, anybody could do it, because I never sought out to be an author, you know what I mean? But here we are, so anybody could do it.
Absolutely. And lastly, I shared before that I've been knowing you since high school. We went to the same college together, but we made some different choices in other areas.
Right.
Again, like how with some people, I think that it's not taken. I think they sometimes take for like granted or too serious the fact of deltas, AKs, or that fraternity sorority facade. When it's like, based on stereotypes and what's the normal about what a delta or AKA or what have you should be. Like, look at us, we're two beautiful brown women who went different routes in regards to choosing what sorority we went through, but at the same time, we have too much that's in common to
Yeah,
divide us.
girl, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I told you, like, I mean, my best friend, she's a Delta. When I got to Georgia Southern, actually, when I got to Georgia Southern, it was just myself. I went there for my master's for a year. It was like myself, and my line sister. Then like another AK came from another school. But when I tell you the Deltas would cook for us, I mean, that was our family. You know, we were always together. So it's like at the end of the day, like as long as we're all just trying to empower each other, that's really what it's all about. You know what I mean? Just empower. And like what you're doing is so dope because people, we have our myths about, you know, revitalization, gentrification. Like, you know, on the east side, they about to call us East Perimeter. You know what I mean? And it's like people, I found out that at a town hall meeting though. So it's like we got to start going to this stuff to really figure out what's going on with our community. You know what I mean? So you doing a great thing, like just because, and then too, we can relate to you. You're not just some pompous person running for Senate or something. You know, we know you, so it's like, okay, yeah, what I'm talking about, like, yeah, she know what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's really great what you're doing. I love it.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. It really does. But I know that it's been a long day for you. And so again, I thank you for even taking this time out to do this with me.
Yes, you're
And
welcome.
if anybody else would like to be featured on HoodAdj
Yeah,
the Chronicles, then feel free to hit me up.
I will. I'll let them know.
All right. Thank you, Cherish. You have a good evening.
All right, bye, girl.
Bye.